Hi, welcome to Lessons of Love, my blog for everybody who's on a healing journey, awakening journey, and who needs to reset, recharge, reorient. Today, I wanted to talk about feeling worthy and feeling enough. Recently, I was asked by a friend who feels like a friend from my business school, and we went to a very like elite and very sort of demanding, ambitious business school. So majority of our classmates, our peers, are extremely successful people with illustrious careers, and obviously who made a ton of money in the last 20 years, very wealthy, at minimum, very well off, and a lot to show for this 20 years. Both she and I have not much at all to show in terms of our career. My career tanked 11 years ago. I would even say 13 when I left the hedge fund. Even my job at IFC, that's um, the World Bank's investment subsidiary, I felt like it was already a step down because um, although I supervised more money personally, there I oversaw $2 billion in projects, whereas at the hedge fund I oversaw maybe like 1.2 billion. Um, but I felt like I was not making any, I was not calling any shots. Like I was just a little whatever it's called in the system. So, um, but compared to everything that transpired since, it was still like a super good career situation. So anyway, she had a similar situation because she chose to be a mom, and she had a really brilliant career in real estate for the first few years post business school, and then it kind of stopped. So now she feels like, she's a loser basically, and she considers me a loser as well. And so she asked me, how do you handle it? How do you not like uh, have so many regrets, and how you're not depressed, that like very clearly you're a loser. She's a good friend. I know. No, seriously. Well, objectively speaking, she's right. I am a loser. Yeah. um, so I've been thinking about how to answer this question for her, because I don't feel like a loser. I actually feel like a winner. Baseless, I know, perhaps, but I do feel like a winner. And I feel so fortunate that um, I've done everything that I've done. And I feel so like I found a treasure, and I feel like I am rich. And when I try to think about, okay, how do I explain it to her? Because it's not based on any objective criteria. Uh, it's all in my head. And the truth is, I haven't found the answer. So I'll try to think it out loud. now with you. Hopefully, you'll still say hello to me after that. Okay, so here's the deal. I went through all the regrets. I've had a period when I was regretting and I was ruminating over every mistake I've made professionally speaking. And I tortured myself about those mistakes. But luckily, before any of this started, before my career downfall, before the loser um, chapter began to unfold, while I was still working at a hedge fund, um, so I was maybe like in the top 5 percentile of my classmates career wise. I became a board member at 31 years old, a board member at a publicly traded company. Um, that was a big deal. And and then I became nothing and like a bottom feeder, just sort of bouncing between the gigs, one worse than another. There was, though, like one really, really bright spot in all of it when I worked with a dear friend of mine, Emily Sidney Smith, when we worked on like innovation consulting. Uh, that those gigs, there were several of those gigs who were quite amazing. Um, I had so much fun and I was inspired all the time. So I would have not ever traded that for anything else in my like hedge fund years. Um, anyway, so before everything collapsed, my career collapsed, I actually set intention. I noticed that I was in this rat race, to prove myself. And no matter what I achieved, I always felt like I just um, reached ground zero. I never ever felt accomplished, and I never ever even stopped to celebrate anything. I just kept running and kept running, but all I felt was void. And to avoid feeling that void, I uh, drank, I shopped, I hooked up, um, basically kept myself as numb as possible. And when I realized that, I decided that I want to feel worthy just because I am, because I exist. And that happened in 2012, in like June. In September, I quit my hedge fund job. And I already hit like a rocky place with my boss. So my boss already sort of like decided to get rid of me. But he was interested still in like maintaining a relationship with me, and he did not want me to quit. He maybe he just wanted to torture me. I don't know, but whatever. I quit, and and then, like I said, like my career was just like collapsing, and the 2 years at IFC, and then the startup, which was pretty much like stillborn. It was like disaster. It was fiasco. And I spent 4 years of my life on it, and then all kinds of like gigs with startups and whatnot, and just a lot of financial struggling and financial insecurity. And I couch surfed for like 2 years. Yeah, it was really rough. Uh, Considering I'm a Wharton grad, right? Like um, you have to really try to be unemployed and penniless as a Wharton graduate. And yet I accomplished it. Yeah, extraordinary. And obviously, when I decided that I want to be, that I want to feel worthy, even when and literally I'm quoting, even when the entire world thinks I'm nothing and does not respect me, does not think much of me, I want to be enough for myself and I want to be worthy to me. Literally, that's what I decided and set my intention for. The little did I know how this will all go down. Obviously, back then, I was still at a hedge fund. I was a portfolio manager. I was in charge of Istanbul office, um, and I was flying high. So I had no idea that it would involve that becoming that enough and worthy to myself would involve me um, going from like top 5% percentile of my classmates to below anything my classmates can imagine happening. Forget about experiencing, just imagine happening. I don't know if I would have courage to set that intention had I known. But what um, what happened is that almost a year ago, another friend, also classmate from Wharton, kind of like tried to make me feel less than about something, and I got triggered. But uh, it's a very rare circumstance. I actually stood up for myself and I told her, look, if you don't want to be friends with me, if I'm not good enough to be a friend, then, just say so. Or don't invite me to your home because it was happening at her house and she invited me. It's like, just don't invite me. And that's it. Problem solved. But this is what I am. It is what it is. And when I was reflecting afterwards, I realized that, holy shit, I've become enough for myself, and I feel worthy enough to myself, regardless what anyone thinks. And when I realized it, I was just so happy, guys. I cannot tell you just how happy I was. And yes, it's been rough, 14 years. But if that was the price to feel enough, especially right now when I am not productive, when I'm not useful, when I am not respected. My last client uh, really was been really really harsh with me, and like he really criticized my work without going into whether or not his harshness or his evaluation of my work was justified. Uh, Before, I would just, I would be ruined. Like, if anybody criticized me and my work, and like, that was like my single biggest identity, being good at my job, being good at work. Um, Productive was like my middle name, and that's how I identified. And now it's been taken away from me, and I'm still alive, and I'm chill, and I'm happy, and I'm in between clients, in between gigs, in between jobs. I have no idea where the next gig will come. I'm not doing anything to generate income because I have not felt very well. You can see another post about that. Uh, and I still love myself, and I still support myself, and I still respect myself. And I think this is a miracle, and I think this is the most like magical thing that could have happened to me, because if you knew me before, and I don't know if it was so obvious how much I depended dependent on other people's respect and uh, other people's opinion of me. But I did very much. It was everything to me. I was very much the good girl, the people pleaser, and very eager to earn my uh, recognition. Or, to me, it was never even the recognition, it was rather like acceptance. Like, uh, I will bust my ass and I will work so hard. So you just keep me around. So you just let me stay. You know what I mean? So it's like I went from that like heroin addict for love and recognition, and this is we're just talking about like professional. Romantic love is a whole other matter. Uh, how hard I tried to earn love, uh, how uh, desperate I was to make anyone love me, and and now I'm by myself, and I've never felt this fulfilled and this uh, content with what is and with myself just the way I am. And so, to answer my friend's question, uh, why I do not feel like a loser is because I am. And I truly believe that every single human being is worthy and enough by already existing. And in my consciousness expansion trips and visions with hypnotherapy, plant medicine, I saw, I forget which trip it was at the moment, but in one trip, I actually saw that uh, all these ascended beings, they admire us because we came here to Earth to live a human life. For those of you who don't know, I actually do believe that, we are spirit. So it's like our soul uh, living in our like carbon-based bodies. And I believe that we're spiritual beings having human experience. Just full disclosure. And I saw that just, I think it was ayahuasca, now I'm remembering, that just by being here, by choosing to incarnate in human body and to have human experience, we already accomplished the hardest thing. We chose to be human. And all ascended beings, angels, schmagens, ascended masters, they are admiring us, they are worshiping us. So to me, it's hilarious when we are like worshiping gods, or this Christian tradition when they worship this god. And at least in Orthodox, Christian Orthodox, which technically I am, I think. uh, I actually don't know if I was ever baptized for real. um, so anyway, in this Orthodox version, they call themselves people, they call them like slaves of the Lord of God. uh, but basically, like Christianity in general, the way I understand it, puts God like here and like ourselves here. So, and like we're looking up to God to for like wisdom and guidance and whatnot. So I think it's really like fucked up. It got it all wrong. First of all, there is no God outside ourselves. We are gods. Uh, Second, so all the wisdom, it's in us, in ourselves. We just have to listen. And when we have to feel worthy and enough to believe that, we have all that wisdom. So we don't have to have like some middle-aged white man uh, to have all the wisdom and keys to that wisdom with him. But long story short, it's like, uh, we're looking up to them. But in reality, as I saw it, it's like all these ascended beings, they're looking up to us because we had the guts to come to Earth. And because it's so hard here, it's so dense, and there's so like duality is so strong here. And it's so hard to be light. It's like the darkness is so potent here that we succumb to it, and we lose our light. Well, luckily, we can actually lose it because we are light, it's our nature. Um, but uh, it feels like we've lost the light. And when we are here, it's like we're the gladiators, and we're gladiators just by being here. We are in the arena. And so, no matter how we do this human experience, no matter how we do this human life, there is no failure, there is no right or wrong way, there is no bonus for like achieving a certain number on your bank account, there is no bonus for gaining like some career something, or producing a certain number of children or whatever. There's absolutely zero bonus points for any of that. So basically, we might as well just enjoy it. It's really all just about enjoying this human experience because it's a short ride, and that's all we got. And it doesn't matter. Nothing really matters. We're just gonna die. We get born, we grow up, we have a little fun, and we die. And what I also saw, and now I actually remember even which trip I saw this on. It was like probably like the strongest trip I've had on ayahuasca. Uh, I saw that uh, it really doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nothing is important. So you might as well just enjoy it. And even though I saw it over a year ago, integrating this trip has been kind of like it's taken a long time. And although I know about it, I still oops, I still don't like live daringly. uh, and I've been dealing with this like health situation, and it's kind of been protracted. uh, but making the very long and long-winded story short, I guess I want to say that I am grateful to be this loser because because it helped me shed all these false identities, all these crutches I had, the professional self, the accomplished self, rich self, um, good girl self. Losing my career helped me be, helped me see my value with none of that. And ego is so strong that I could not keep that and shed the false identities, if you see what I mean. Because, these identities are really, really sticky. And I know, I so know how it's like a drug. Success is like, it feels like drug. And very quickly, it starts feeling like it's me. So when I'm successful and I feel strong and I feel empowered and I feel badass, like I very quickly start thinking, oh, um, it must be because I'm special and because I'm so cool, yada yada. So it's like I could not find that self worthiness and enoughness without losing it very like dramatically and very clearly. So that was my path. And I really hope that through this collapse of all these false identities and me finding my light and grieving all those identities, sure enough, I've spent a lot of time regretting and grieving and blaming, and now I feel so grateful. And I sometimes I get overwhelmed by gratitude, uh, just how grateful I feel to have gained this perspective of how valuable I am, even when I don't have anything or when I don't do anything. And this is the biggest accomplishment of my life so far. All right. If you were actually watching this, you are my hero. Like, I kind of low key hope that nobody will watch it because this was a mess. And clearly, I didn't have a scenario prepared, and I was just like going in circles and circles and circles or in spiral. And so, if you're still watching this, thank you very much. Please leave a comment so that I know to thank you. And stay tuned for more.